Hello, ladies, gents, and NBs. Welcome to your favorite word soccer podcast. I'm George,
I'm Kevin.
and we're going to be talking about this past weekend's Barcelona versus Sevilla. So, just bringing it back to the Liga table. Barcelona is third place at the beginning of this game, and Sevilla is second. So, this game is really important to see who's going to actually finish second spot and put pressure on Madrid for the rest of the season. Um, this is actually pretty important because second place in La Liga gets to qualify for the new Spanish Super Cup, which both teams need the money for it, especially Barcelona with all their financial issues. Then looking at our actual both teams, Barcelona comes in with obviously the injured Ansu Fati, who hasn't been playing for a couple of months, and then our most recent injury is Luke De Jong, who's not really a huge deal, but I mean he's Super Luke, always a nice sub to come in, and actually Sevilla is coming in with nine injured players. Um, they're missing Delaney, which Moose, you know a little bit more about him, and how
Yeah,
important he is
ex
to the
Dortmund
team.
player. Yeah, strong in the
Ex-
midfield.
Exactly. But I think the biggest problem Sevilla had this game is that their left back, Acuna, is missing. And he's the one that was supposed to stop Dembele. And as we saw in the Madrid game, Dembele is on fire, who destroyed Carvajal. I'm sorry, destroyed Nacho. So again, without Acuna here, he's gonna end up destroying Rekic in the back, and just doing a bunch of crosses that would help out Barcelona throughout the game. So looking at Barcelona's actual form, they come from a 5 win streak in 2022 out of 10 games. They've won 8 and only drawn 2. They are killing it in the front line. So they have 27 total goals in 2022 and have only conceded 7 goals.
And then looking at Sevilla's form in 2022, out of the 11 games they've played, they've drawn 7. So that's a lot of dropped points, and they won't be able to keep up with Madrid. And I think it's too late for sure. So. As for Dembele, he was killing it on the right flank, but I think his crosses weren't on point this time around. But we can get into that later.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, we should definitely look into that later. And then looking at some little motivation before the game, when Xavi was asked in the press conferences about the Madrid game, of the thrashing of the peasants in Madrid, he said what happened in the Bernabeu were just 3 points. So definitely trying to be very calm about it, and he wants to consolidate the form moving forward. And then Sevilla's motivation is their number nine today, Martial. He's faced a lot of criticism after his loan move for Manchester United. He cost 6 million euros for the 6 month loan, and he hasn't really been up to the standard. So he's coming in with all this motivation to try to prove everyone wrong on like one of the bigger stages in Spanish football.
Yeah, his
Um,
form was
so
definitely also subpar at Manchester United, I want to say, but yeah, everyone's form is kind of poor there at the moment, so it doesn't say much. Yeah.
all right, so should we take a look at? Well, I mean, first of all, look at Rakitic with those tidy whities, dude, looking mighty fine back in Camp Nou for the first time since he left the team, since COVID had those years without fans. It's the first time he comes back with the fans. So literally gave out everything to the fans and ended up in his undies. What a sight to see, you know?
Dude, he could have given away his cleats still. He could have his shin guards. Like, there's still a little bit more, but like,
Bro, he should have gotten rid of the tidy whities, dude. I don't know why he's hiding right now, bro. Should have fucking signed them.
all
All right,
right.
should we take a look at the lineups?
Yeah, let's take a look at the Barca lineup first.
All right, cool. We started off with Ter Stegen in the back as always. Dani Alves made a comeback to this game after missing a Clásico. Araujo dropping from the right back into the center of the defense. We actually lost Eric Garcia for this game and playing Piqué, and the left back as always is Jordi Alba. The midfield is this consolidated midfield. We have Busquets in the back, Pedri on the left, and Frankie on the right. And then on the top, Dembele on the right flank, who's going to destroy any defender. Alba, who's been on hot form. He scored, I think, in the last 4 games. And then Ferran Torres, who I don't know, man, just an embarrassing player all around, but I think we still gotta pretend to love him. So yeah. Then I guess you talk a little bit the Sevilla lineup.
For Sevilla, we have Bono in goal, and then from left to right on the defense, Rekic, Diego Carlos, one of the best center backs in La Liga, Kunde, and Jesus Navas, who plays more as like a right wing back. He pushes up really deep. And then in the midfield, left to right, we have Jordan, Gudiel, and Ivan Rakitic, who's playing against his former club. So you always like to see that. And then on the left wing, we have Ocampos.
The stupid ass hair.
El Coco Lamela on the right wing, and then Anthony Martial as a striker.
For sure, for sure. Man, I still can't believe I thought Lamela's name was not Eric for the longest time. I fucked that up so bad. Just
That
made up his
was like
nickname.
Jorge.
Jorge, you know, it's a pretty sick name. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
All right, man. We should. Oh, do you have anything else to comment on the lineup?
Um, no, I think we can move on to the first the first play here.
All right, the game started off pretty hectic with a giant knock on Busquets. He clashed with Gerard Piqué and Coco Lamela. You could see him get rocked. So like he immediately drops, and we thought Xavi had to put in Gavi from the first minute and lose a sub. But luckily Busquets came back. He was a little bit off it for a couple of minutes, but he transitioned back into the game like no, there was no issue. So
Dang,
let's move on.
that looked like a little mini concussion, maybe. No, I mean he got
It did, it did.
sandwiched. So
He got sandwiched bad, dude. Like his head, like it's just like a whiplash. And then he had to like sort of get guided out of the field. I don't know what the concussion protocol is in Spain, but it doesn't look too rigorous, man. Like I wouldn't have been surprised if he had collapsed later on.
I don't
That
think
happened
it's
with
good in
Gavi.
any league. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. That happened with Gavi a couple months back. Like he got hit in the head real bad. And like he got out of the pitch. Like the doctors like cleared him, which is total bullshit. Because like the doctors that clear him are the Barcelona doctors. So like your own team doctors are gonna be like, yeah, he could play. And then he like goes into the field and literally collapses. Like he was so messed up. But yeah, yeah. Let's
Oh,
oh shit.
move on to the next one.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is the first real chance of the game. Ferran Torres takes it on the left wing, cuts inside, but then he's it's not a very clear chance, but like I fully expect him to get at least a shot on target here. Maybe because it's the first one, I can forgive him, but he has to start like impressing more, and this one just goes over the bar. It's pretty wide.
Yeah, it's really bad, man. This guy does not know how to finish. It's really embarrassing to like know that I think he's Barcelona's like second highest scorer or like third right now. Um,
That says a lot about.
it's pretty pathetic. But also, my man gets like 40 shots per game basically, and he ends up scoring like one, like almost every game. Like it's not great like statistically, but in La Liga he's padding his own stats just based on how many attempts he has. Again, he's trash. I really wish he was a better finisher. I don't know how to improve that. Like, what? Do you just have to like kick at the goal every single day for like hours? I thought that's what they do in training. I don't know, man. He's just ass. But
Yeah, he
yeah,
needs to for like he needs to take like his day off and just start shooting.
yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, he is dating Luis Enriquez's daughter. So if I were Luis Enrique for the upcoming World Cup, I'll be like, "Yo, you can't see my daughter if you can't score, bro. Like, this is embarrassing."
Oh shit, they got that Germany matchup.
Oh man, they're gonna get smashed. No, I mean, what was it? The last game, Spain beat them like 6-0, right?
I don't know if that counted though. It was like a friendly, right?
It was a friendly, but like I mean, I think Spain's gonna go in confident into the game. They have a great team actually. It just they can't score, and Ferran is one of the big reasons they can't score, bro.
And we'll see that theme all throughout the game. So
No, for sure, for sure.
anyway, this is a good screenshot of the Sevilla lineup. So in the defensive lineup, they're lining up as a 4-2-3-1, and you'll see actually at times one of the two center defensive mids will push up with the three midfielders and have like a somewhat of a high press right there.
Exactly, and I
But
think that was really good in theory. It just didn't work out during the game.
you think it's because
Oh,
of the I think Barca's passing in spaces is too good, and they were able to exploit that space between like the those four front midfielders and the CDM, because he leaves a lot of space. So and you see
you know,
Pedri right there, right?
yeah, no, I totally agree because I feel like if it were a different team that isn't confident with that high press from the opponent, they would easily lose the ball. Like you said, these defensive mids are jumping up at any chance where the back line of Barcelona has the ball. So an unexperienced defender or someone that just knows how to like brick the ball away, like a Maguire type, would definitely lose the ball and would cause a Sevilla counterattack immediately. Also, something that we notice here is that Martial is playing a number nine position, um, and he's not known for playing a number nine. I don't know, Lopetegui just has him there because he thinks he's fast, but he's like typically known for playing in the like left flank, correct? In Manchester?
Yeah, he was usually on the left wing.
Yeah, exactly. So he's out of position. That might also add to the fact as to why he's not been in the hottest form. Um, but I guess they got to do what they got to do. Minute 12, Dembele has a, one of his great crosses in the box. He laid a spectacular cross for Frankie. But I think what was more important here, oh, I mean, and obviously Frankie missed it. It's not a fucking goal. Frankie should have scored that. That was point blank. I don't know how he just his eyes are closed, I think. I don't know how you go into a ball with your eyes closed. That's pretty pathetic. But I think what mostly impressed me in this play was Dembele's ball control. He like put a cushion on the ball in the box. And what was a little worrisome was that there was no Sevilla defenders near him. So, one, I think the Sevilla defenders aren't quick enough. Again, which was what we saw in Madrid and what we talked about earlier without Acuna. Dembele's kind of having a field day here where he could just run up by himself. Look at all this, like he just has so much space, and then he lays that perfectly timed cross that Frankie does not actually take advantage of.
This was one of those like quick switches right in front of the box.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's why Dembele had so much time on the other side. I mean, Barca was doing that pretty consistently, like right in front of the Sevilla box, just switching it very quickly, and so you have a lot of space on the other side, and they had the Sevilla defense on the ropes because of that.
No, for sure. And I mean, also Xavi like likes to play with these wingers that are pretty quick. Like Varane is pretty quick. Dembele is the fastest player in La Liga in my opinion. So even like these like typical crosses that another team could do, if you have someone that could just outsprint anyone, you just they're left with miles of space around them. So it's perfect for him exploiting his speed and getting those crosses in. Sick. So something that's been awesome seeing with what they're calling the Xavineta, you know, like the Xavi style of playing, is the high press of all the forwards. Like you see Dembele actually pressing on the right wing, which is ridiculous to see. Like this man was known to be like one of the laziest players Barcelona's ever had. So seeing him actually committed to the cause and actually trekking back and going forward to pressure is amazing. Another guy is Alba Young, right? He's been frozen out of. Damn, is that a typo? He's
I
been
fixed
frozen.
it.
Yeah, another guy who's been showing a great commitment to the team is Alba. Um, he was frozen out of Arsenal, benched for I think like 6 months, and now you could see him pressing on like the back line of Sevilla, causing good counterattacks for Barcelona. I think it's just really impressive that everyone's sort of falling in line with the Xavi mentality of playing, and it's really wonderful to see as a Barca fan.
Yeah, it's nice to see them respect that. Xavi came in and he's really like exerting his influence. I think pretty easily. A lot of coaches don't get this kind of respect, so yeah, and it's nice to
Yep.
see it pay off as well. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. 'Cause, I mean, you would expect how would you say this? The new manager boost, like when Ole took over Man U, they had a couple games where like they eliminated PSG in the Champions League, and they had like a nice little hot form for a second, but then it waned relatively quickly, and then they were kind of mediocre for a hot sec. So I think so far we're still on that
The honeymoon
lovey-dovey.
phase.
Yeah, exactly. We're in the
Uh,
honeymoon phase. So I think in the next month or two, we'll see if this team could be consistent and if we could actually finish the Liga in second or first place. I mean, if we get first, that'd be a crazy feat. But like if we could finish at least second and then make it all the way to the final in the Europa League, I think we'll see that this project with Xavi has been consolidated by the players and everyone would believe that he's actually a world-class coach, you know?
yeah, I mean, I think you guys should win Europa League. I mean, is there anyone like you're afraid of? Like,
I think
I,
Frankfurt is the hardest team, and we're facing them right now. So I think if we pass this right now, it'll be, I guess, like knock on wood, easy as hell to fucking win that cup. Like it shouldn't be that
mm,
hard. Um,
I would have said maybe Atalanta because they've been in the Champions League pretty consistently. So,
yeah,
but
but their defenders are always trash. Like Atalanta's like known for scoring like 5 goals and then getting like 4 goals scored on them. So like, I don't know if they'll be able to exploit the Barcelona backline that badly. And I think Barcelona could for sure score on them. Um,
gotcha.
yeah. All right, should we move on?
Yep.
All right. Again, showing a little bit of how Xavi has given his commitment to the players, and the players are giving him commitment back. You could see on the back right here, Dembele actually is dropping back to cover Dani Alves' back, and then on the left, you could see that Ferran Torres is dropping back to cover Jordi Alba's back. So it's really nice to see that the team is playing as a complete unit. Everyone's going up and down with purpose and actually eliminating Sevilla's attack.
Yeah, and I also just want to say that by like this point of the game, I'd say it was pretty even. I think Barca had more attacking chances, but yeah, it was very open ended, and like there were just attacks going, back and forth. It was pretty end to end stuff. So
It
so
was,
it's
it
still
was,
like
it
a
was literally
toss up.
fun to watch.
Yeah,
Of
very
course.
fun to watch. Even though 0-0, a lot of people don't like 0-0s, but like it's
Those are called
still
white people, bro.
very fun.
All right, man.
All right.
That's you.
So this is a pretty controversial moment. We have VAR in La Liga, of course, and Martial tries to send a cross in, and it hits Araujo in the arm, but you can see that the arm's pretty tucked close to his body. So in my opinion, I think it's a good call, especially with how close I think Martial's not even like a yard away. He's like a yard and a half away maybe. And I don't see this being called as a handball like in all the matches I've watched this year. Like I've never seen this called. So I think good call
Unless
on
it's
the
Madrid,
refs.
bro. If it's
Was
Madrid,
this
that's like three penalties and a red card, bro.
was this one of the penalties against was Celta, right? They play Celta.
It was Celta, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
No, I actually watched the highlights, and two of the penalties looked like pretty good, clear penalties. There were the last one, the third one was a little bit off-putting because Mendy like dragged his foot on purpose to make contact with the defender.
Oh,
It was
okay.
it was super harsh to give it, but I could see why VAR would give it in like a because like I feel like when you do things in slow mo, it looks way worse than it is. Um,
For sure.
but like
Yeah.
he like clearly like just stuck his foot out to try to get a pen. Um, but yeah, but back to this game, I totally agree with you. Like his hand is tucked back, and it's a pretty natural position. And like you said, Martial is way too close to him. There's no time for him to react to move his hand out of the way. So definitely not a penalty. Um, and then like immediately after, Barcelona had a good counterattack. So that would have been heartbreaking for Sevilla to think they're like in the zenith of like about to get a penalty and then get scored on. That shit would have trashed their confidence.
Dude, I still don't think I've seen that. So like one of the complaints about VAR, or I guess criticisms was like, oh, what happens if you have like a penalty like call on one end and then immediately goes to the other end and then the team scores? Like, what happens in that case? And
It
that
goes back.
becomes.
I think I saw it in a game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Someone scored after. I don't remember where it was, but someone for sure scored, and it was a pretty clear penalty. And the ref was like, "I'm sorry," and he just took it back and took a penalty.
Yeah, that I feel like that would piss off a lot of fans. Obviously, it's the right call, like it's according to the VAR rules, the video assistant referee rules. But like, yeah, luckily, I mean, thankfully, we didn't see it here because it could have gone, it could have been a lot more controversial. So,
That would have been super controversial. I feel like it would have been worse if we had been playing in Sanchez Pizjuan in Sevilla. Like
mm,
if that happened, Barcelona gets a handball, it doesn't go, and a goal gets scored off of that. I feel like the crowd would have gone wild. But in the Camp Nou, I don't think it would be that bad. You just have like that little like section of like 500 Sevilla fans like shitting on everyone. But yeah, no, that would have been wild, and I'm glad it didn't happen. I think that would have added way too much controversy for this game. That was like pretty smooth sailing until I guess the end. Shit. Sorry. Do you want me to go for
yeah, yeah,
that one? My
you
bad.
can take it. You can.
All right, cool. So minute 40, Alba misses a clear chance in front of the goal, and the only reason he missed it was because he was being a complete dumbass and tried to appeal for a penalty. He had a blatant dive. I think it's Kunde. Yeah, it is Kunde, who just like touches his shoulder, and I don't know why, but Alba decides to go down for a pen. It was so soft, and he just dove like a fucking Olympic diver, and he definitely had all the chances in the world to actually hit that ball behind Bono. Like he was in a great position. I don't know why that happened. He's probably spending way too much time with like Jordi Alba. So it's a negative for me. Like he should have definitely been done better and actually finished the goal.
To me, that was really smart defending because like he kind of had his arm wrapped. He had it a bit wrapped, but like only for a split second. So he like just slowed him down that little bit, and then like he let him go. The important part is letting him go right away. Right when you feel the I guess resistance. And so defending is an art form here. You gotta know how much you can get away with, and I think this was a perfect case. He got away with just enough. Although Alba really should have stayed on his feet, and I think it would have been an easy chance, and he just slot that home. But great
I
defending.
agree. I agree. I think it is great defending. It's really nice to see Koundé is back from. I don't know if you remember the last time he played Barcelona. He lost it and threw a ball at Jordi Alba's face. He just
Oh,
like
I remember. Yeah, yeah.
so it's cool that he's keeping his cool again. I think he's a great defender. I know he was linked to Chelsea, but again with like the Abramovich scandal with Putin and Russia, I don't know what's gonna happen. He's gonna stay in Sevilla. I think he's a great like any team that gets him next season is gonna have a great defender in their hand.
Well, I mean, let's see what happens with Rudiger too, because he's been getting looked at too by other teams. I think Barca, right? Actually,
Yeah,
or
he's linked to Barcelona
mm,
and Madrid.
yeah,
I think it's more likely for him to go to Madrid because Barcelona's. I think they already have a pre-contract with Christensen.
yeah. That's right.
He is
That's right.
he is younger, and I think he's allegedly better at playing from the back. Um, I haven't seen him play much, so
Mm,
I don't really have too much to comment on that.
I think he's quality, but I think Rudiger's all around. I think more. He's a better defender and more lucrative, in my opinion.
That's totally fair. I mean, what he's a starter for Germany and Chelsea, like the reigning champion of Europe and I guess Germany. But yeah, I guess let's keep going. So here we have at minute 46 of the first half, Bono with a great save on Oba. Um, but the issue with this was he left a rebound in the center. You know, that's one of the biggest rookie mistakes from any defender, any keeper, is to drop the ball in the middle of the box. And then Bono rushed out and complicated things when he dove to try to actually get the ball, but he accidentally tipped it with his own foot. Like he jumps in with his hands, but he forgets that he's like a size 17 feet. I don't know what the fuck how he messed that one up, but he like tips the ball and like it terrifies his defender because it almost leaves the ball immediately to Dembele, who was just a smidge too far back to actually finish it and slot it home. Um, but yeah, just a little bit of drama at the end of the first half. It's fun, a fun little way to end the first half.
Yeah, fun if you're not a Sevilla fan, but like, and that could have been disastrous, man, because they didn't really have any threatening chances. Barcelona, like any like very 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 clear chances, and that would have just been such a demoralizer. You never want to concede that at halftime or before halftime, but also at any point really.
No, I agree. I feel like a fuck up from your goalie, like that's that bad, and it goes in. That really just shakes up your entire defense. Like they're not going to be trusting your goalie for the rest of the game. And that would just be a field day for like the opposing team's attackers. Um, but yeah, do you have any key takeaways from the first half?
Um, I thought it was very evenly matched. Besides that, though, it wasn't terribly entertaining the first half. I was hoping the second half would be better. So I guess that was
I,
my main takeaway.
I do think the second half did live up a little bit more than the first half. I mean, to be fair, I think the game was really back and forth for big chunks of the first half. Both teams go all out when they attack, which is a blessing and a curse. You know, when they attack, they leave so much space in the back, so a counterattack is really easy for both teams. They both have pretty quick forwards, like Dembele in Barcelona, Martial for Sevilla, and both teams have been abusing the counters. But yeah, overall, not too many chances from Sevilla. Barcelona had quite a few chances, but they can't finish. Again, it's up to Ferran and Aubameyang to get better with their finishing.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah,
that was so the counterattacks were like lightning quick, and that was exciting. But the last pass and the key pass, the key shot, it was all lacking, and so that really ruined, I guess, or ruined the excitement. Hmm.
I get it. It definitely soured it. Because they had so many opportunities to actually finish it, and it's just imprecise at the last second. But yeah, let's move on to the second half.
So this is 10 minutes into the second half. Sevilla on a quick break. Jesus Navas takes the ball down the right flank, and he has Ocampos in the box ready. But I think there was just miscommunication, and Navas sends the ball behind Ocampos. I think Ocampos was looking to just speed passed and hit the ball really quick near the goal, whereas Navas was expecting Ocampos to sit back a little and hold up the play a little bit so he could get a header in.
No, for sure, for sure. I think Navas also thought that Ocampos had like higher hair than he actually did, probably like a couple inches more, so he could have actually hit that in. But yeah, no, that was actually really unfortunate from Sevilla. It was a really good counterattack, little fast break, and what he missed that ball by. I guess the way he's jumping, he would have never gotten it. Um, like I think you phrased it perfectly. They were in different mindsets. Ocampos was trying to sprint in, and Navas, being a more experienced player, was seeing the game more slowly and figuring out what would have been an easier goal. And it just didn't work out. It was really unfortunate for Sevilla. I think that was their first like pretty clear opportunity that left Barcelona kind of shaken up in the back.
Yeah, I think Ocampos he jumped the gun a bit because if Navas crosses that ball into where Ocampos' path was going, then Ter Stegen would have had it easily. So
Exactly, exactly. So let's just hope for Ocampos' partner's sake that he does not jump the gun when he's fucking. That was a little too quick. All right, let's keep going. All right, minute 63. Again, Dembele just abusing the right side of the field and does a nice little cross back to Ferran, who is basically in the penalty spot alone against Bono. And I don't know, my boy doesn't know how to finish. It was a good attempt, but straight at Bono, really. He didn't really have to dive or anything. He just had to lift his hands up, and he gets an amazing little save. Again, Ferran has to be better at these finishes. He could place it on the lower left corner of the goal, and that would have been it. Like, Bono can't jump far down quick enough for that. Um, I don't know. Xavi really has to figure out how to make this man score.
yeah, I
Oh,
think the finish to the far post is going to be trickier because you do have to shift the momentum of the ball a lot more. I think this is a case where you just need to go hard and you need to go to the near post and try and beat the keeper, try and beat Bono. You could do that by really driving it into the roof right there. Although that's easier said than done, but if you really want to go for power and go into the lower near post, I think that was his best option.
that's fair. That's fair. I just think out of all the options he had, he picked the fucking worst one, and Bono came up strong on that save and kept Sevilla in the game for a little bit longer. Six. So now we're gonna move on to the 66th minute.
Here, Sevilla wins a free kick in pretty dangerous territory. I'd say it's about like 25 yards out from the goal. And you have Ivan Rakitic, who has scored some bangers from free kick situations before. So Ter Stegen has to be pretty pretty careful with this one. And Rakitic decides to try and curl it into the top left corner, but it just goes over the crossbar. And I honestly thought it was going to be on target here. So it was really scary. And at this moment in the match, Barca was really hammering Sevilla. So like this goal would have been completely against the run of play. It would have been a pretty huge like gut punch to Barcelona.
No, for sure. And then, I mean, like we mentioned before, Rakitic is a former Barcelona player, so he knows Ter Stegen, and Ter Stegen knows him. So I feel like it was a really cool matchup to have Sevilla's best free kick taker against Barcelona's keeper. Unfortunately for him, it curled right out of the way of the goal, and you could see him with like his little fist getting all angry and shit like that, looking like a little toddler after missing that. But I think it was a good attempt.
All right, and then I mean in the 69th minute, right after Barca gets another dangerous opportunity, so cross goes in, and then Pique's there to head it, and again, again, another close one. It goes right off the crossbar. Bono, I don't think would have reached it if it was just a little bit lower. And I mean, at this point, like you feel a goal's coming, and it has to come from. I think Barcelona. It could have come from Sevilla, but like this is their chance now. Barca's chance to strike, and we see what happens in the 73rd minute with Pedri.
All right. Thanks for setting that up. Yeah, in the 73rd minute, Dembele with an amazing assist. That's what Xavi was joking about because he just gave him a shitty pass, and then Pedri took on all of Sevilla, bro. He left Rakitic sprawl on the ground. He left. What was it, Diego Carlos?
Yeah, Diego Carlos.
Also sprawl on the ground. He just does two feints, very Iniesta-esque in the way he dribbles. It's really nice to see for such a young talent. And then he shoots it to the far left corner of the goal. In an interview afterwards, he said that he felt confident it would go in. If you remember, he scored the same goal in Turkey against Galatasaray. So he's pretty known for doing these out of the box shots that Xavi has been pursuing for him to increase his goal tally. But overall, an amazing goal. Really left the entire crowd in an uproar of just pure bliss. Like everyone was freaking out. I remember when we were watching this game, you started yelling. This shit was ridiculous. No one could believe how good and like how much finesse he had to like just take on all of Sevilla and place it perfectly to beat Bono. It's an amazing goal.
Dude, it was a FIFA goal. He's a fake shot merchant. Just like fake shot, and then just slot it in there.
For sure. What is that? Circle X or square X?
Yeah,
That looks
you
like
could
it's in
do
a
either
back
of
right
those.
here.
Yeah, square X, circle X. Just do that
Right.
constantly. I always do that shit. It never works.
Imagine being fucking Rakitic, like a 35-year-old player, and just gliding past this kid. Like, what are you thinking at that point? You're just like, fuck me, I'm gonna be in all the newspapers tomorrow. Like, just like fucking sliding past. That's probably why he took off all his clothes at the end, so people forgot this shit, dude.
And also, I mean, he's half his age too, basically. I mean,
Yo, he could be his dad, like no joke.
yeah, it's kind of wild.
Yeah, man, that was a beautiful play by Pedri. Like, I mean, he's a world-class talent. People keep calling him one of the best young players of this generation, but realistically, right now, I think Pedri is one of the best players just in this new like not just being a young player. I think he's just one of the best players right now. Right?
Yeah, and
He
and
could
people,
definitely
yeah,
go
people
for it.
keep discrediting him just because he's young. I think, and
Exactly.
he's showing his quality. I mean, you don't start in this Barca team without a
I
lot of
agree.
quality. You know.
I I think people sort of forgot about him because he was injured for most of this season. Last season, he played the record of 78 games in all competitions, which is ridiculous for like an 18-year-old, 17, 18-year-old last year. And this season started off with a bunch of injuries, and now he's come back, and his form is like he never lost it, and he has been amazing. And with Xavi, Xavi's asked him to be more vertical because I feel like last season Pedri had more pass accuracy, but he was passing more horizontal. Now he's going and attacking, and he's got this new facet of his game that's actually scoring goals, which is ridiculous. So I think he will, if he continues at this rate and this form, he's going to eclipse players like Xavi and Iniesta. Just what he's doing at 19 is what something that Iniesta was doing in his late 20s, early 30s. It's ridiculous to see that. So much confidence, so much finesse, and so much vision from such a young player is just really wonderful to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he turns into that like world class like into his like late 20s, mid to late 20s, like he becomes that world class player. I mean, I'm excited to see how he shows up at the World Cup too. I think he's gonna be huge for Spain, and they're one of the favorites to win the whole thing. So he could be an important part of that.
Yeah, especially if he gets the goal facet of his game down, because I feel like people aren't expecting him to shoot from out of the box, right? Like everyone's gonna be marking Morata because he's a tall ass player, then Ferran because he is quick and gonna be on the left flank. But people are gonna forget about Gavi and fucking Pedri, and I think if Luis Enrique wants to take advantage of them, he will make them take shots from afar, and that will really concern the defenders. And I think it'll be really fun to watch in November.
Yeah, they're gonna definitely punish those teams that just like to sit back, because
Exactly.
they leave all that space in front of the box. That's all Pedri and Gavi right there. Free real estate for them.
For sure, for sure. All right, let's move on from this amazing goal.
1-0 Barcelona.
Yeah, man. And then the game kind of eased out a bit for a hot second. I mean, they both had a couple of chances, but then at minute 86, the ref went crazy. I don't know. It was just a counterattack from Sevilla, and I think it was Piqué, if I'm not mistaken. He pulls it might have been Martial, but basically pulls one of the attacking players of Sevilla who's doing a counterattack, just because he knows he doesn't have the pace to keep up with him. And Sevilla players go mad. They're asking for a red card, but it clearly is just a tactical foul. He wasn't a one-on-one versus the keeper, so a yellow card suffices. That's what the referee does. But the Sevilla players go crazy. What is it? Tecatito's in there? Or
Yeah,
no, no.
he went in
Yeah,
for
Tecati.
Lamela. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tecatito starts yelling at the ref. He gets a yellow card. Another of the Sevilla players starts yelling at the ref. Another yellow card. And then from the sidelines, you get the fucking coaches start yelling at the ref. Xavi yells. He got a yellow card. Then Lopetegui's second man in command. I don't know his name, but he looked very confused that he can't yell at a ref. The ref freaked out, ran up to him, and gave him a straight red, kicked him out of the fucking game. And I thought it was really cute after that. So the guy that got a red card, he was an ex-Barca player. So he went up to the Barca bench and like our old dude that like does this gives the sub numbers to the ref. Like he just hugged him and laughed at him and we
Oh.
just walked out of the stadium together. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the referee wanted to show his dominance at the end of the game for some reason and just gave everyone cards. It was wild. It was kind of weird to see, but
Dude,
you
some of
know,
these refs have like egos or something. Like
they do,
they
man.
need to know like I'm the boss here. You know.
No, for sure, man. They have the thinnest skin possible. Like I don't know how, like you don't expect people to call your mom a whore in the middle of the game, dude. Like you deserve it. Like you, like I don't get it. I feel like that's definitely something that comes with the territory of being a ref. Like you know you're the most hated person on the pitch.
It's
Um,
weird though, cause in I think in rugby, I've seen clips where it's like they have so much respect for the refs. It's pretty insane when you look at it side by side how little respect soccer refs get. Like, it sucks. They need to do this, I think, just so they could just get a little bit more respect. Although some people they lose respect when they do this stuff. I think when they go overboard.
Yeah, I think he went overboard. I for sure lost a little respect. Like kicking out the second in command for what? Like what? He probably yelled at him that you're like bot, right? Like oh, someone's paying you. Some like easy joke that's like nothing. And then give him a red card. I don't know. That seems excessive. I never understand why refs would give out cards for like insults. Like that doesn't affect anyone. I don't know. Maybe his wife like shat on him today, and the guy said the same exact thing his wife said, so he got a little angsty and gave him a red card. I don't know,
Yeah, that was bad luck then. Yeah.
bro. All right, and then let's go for the last slide, and then minute 92. Ter Stegen really wants to make the game interesting. It was easy cruising for Barcelona, and then there's a cross. Ter Stegen should have an easy time just clearing the ball, and then he fumbles it. Like he tries punching the ball, and it hits his knuckles, as opposed to like the flat part of his hand, and the ball just drops right into the path of a Sevilla player. But luckily, Ter Stegen jumps back up and immediately blocks the shot. That would have been terrifying for Barcelona if that actually went in. Um, but this play started with like really good high pressure from Ocampos, which I think could be said about both teams. They did do good high pressure, and that caused a bunch of like these um, offshoots of these attacks. But again, Ter Stegen a little bit shaky here. Not something you love to see as a Barca fan, but in the end, nothing really came about it, and it's just something we could laugh about. But
Yeah,
yeah, man.
sometimes those mistakes happen just because, yeah, I think sometimes you're just scared like the Sevilla players just gonna crash into your opponent's gonna crash into you really hard, especially in the 90 second. They want to go all in and try and get that equalizer, but so maybe that's why Ter Stegen kind of hesitated or like he got distracted, subconsciously. Yeah, that could be a reason.
Yeah, and also like Sevilla hadn't attacked too much the entire game, so like he is kind of cold, right? Like he hasn't had much interaction with the game. So, and the last possible second, like he has to come into action, and he's just been totally cold and just not paying attention, I guess. It's just like an easy mistake. Definitely shouldn't happen to a world-class keeper like him. But he did wonderful to recover.
Yeah. Luckily, it
Yeah,
didn't
man.
lead to anything, but
Exactly, exactly. Do you have any closing remarks for the game and anything that like really stood out to you?
um, I think Barca did really well to they're at home. I think they want obviously they want to take the 3 points, but um, I think they should have closed the game out with a little bit more authority. Like when I what I mean by that is like they really should have like won this game. I think 2-0, 3-0. I thought it was way too close. Even though Sevilla never really had a very clear cut chance. Barca, you've seen what happens when Barca plays this way, like against Galatasaray. They they
Exactly.
they had a 0-0 draw, but they had a lot of chances to put the game away, and this easily could have ended in a 0-0 if it wasn't for Pedri's flash of brilliance.
I agree. That's something Barcelona has to work on again. Is just the finishing. We have players like Ferran who cannot finish, and that's definitely something that has to be worked on the training ground. Um, Overall, Barcelona was clearly the better team throughout the 90 minutes. Um, they outplayed Sevilla by a lot. They just couldn't finish, and in the end, it almost cost them, especially with minute 92 with Ter Stegen almost fucking that up. Um, but in the end of the day, Barcelona's second place in La Liga with a game at hand, and they're going to start putting some pressure around Madrid. So overall, an amazing week for Barcelona fans and for Xavi. Upcoming games, Barcelona has the Europa League quarterfinal this Thursday against Frankfurt, and then going back to La Liga on April 10th, they're playing Levante, so that should be an easy game. Um,
Are
and then
they
Sevilla,
playing in Spain first or in Frankfurt
they're playing in
first?
Germany first.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Frankfurt just drew 0-0 to the last place team in the Bundesliga, so and
we were
maybe it's
chatting
a
about
good
this
sign.
earlier, but I wasn't sure. Did they play all their starters? Were they like saving themselves to Barcelona? Like I don't really know. I don't really watch the Bundesliga that much.
I don't
Um,
think they do that, especially well, they just came off of a lot. I think a lot of their players came off of international break, so a decent amount probably, but they only played friendlies. I think. Um, I don't think they did that. They like rested a lot of starters. I mean, it's still the last place team, so
that's true. That's true. Yeah. So hopefully Barca could actually show some finishing on Thursday and have an easy time. And then looking at Sevilla, their upcoming game is this Friday against Granada. That should, in theory, be a cruising game, but Sevilla is known for tying every single game now. And then the big game is Sunday, April 17th, Sevilla versus Real Madrid. If Sevilla could win, they could put more pressure on the Liga, and it'll be a really, really fun, tight end of the season. Um, Assuming Barcelona wins all the points until then, and Sevilla too, that means the Liga would be a 6 point race with Barca with one game at hand, meaning that it could go down to a 3 point race. So it would be really fun to see that. Um, but yeah, the Liga is still really Madrid's to lose. If Barcelona wins all their games, they can't do anything. If Sevilla wins all their games, they can't do anything. So definitely Madrid's to lose, and it'll still be kind of fun to see Madrid choke at some point.
Yeah, I mean, as a neutral, I just want to see like a close title race. So I hope
Yeah, like in the
Madrid.
Bundesliga, right?
Oh my God! I mean, that Bundesliga is over after that.
Bro, that shit
Leipzig
was over like in November.
Leipzig beat Dortmund 4-1, and yeah, well, it was kind of tight. Okay, it was like 4 points off, like last week, but then
Yeah, but
Dortmund,
yeah, it's
yeah,
are serial chokers.
man.
Shit,
I
heartbreaking.
I don't see. I mean, we'll see in the summer. We're picking up Zula, so that should fix up the
They're
back
losing
line.
fucking Haaland.
We'll find another striker. It's fine.
All right, bro. All right, man. If you guys stayed watching all of this, we thank you. It was fun to get to review this game. It wasn't the most entertaining, but definitely a good time to watch. Um, so thank you all and have a good night.
Yeah, we're signing off. See you later.